Hi, Ernesto.
Hi.
And thank you very much for being here and taking part in Venice International Art Fair.
Thank
Today
you.
we are welcome. Today we are in Palazzo Albrizzi-Capello on the noble floor in this amazing room called Sala della Pace. And your works are standing on the main wall of our exhibition.
Wonderful.
I hope you love the space and the atmosphere. Today we are presenting two works that are really interesting about for their concept and for their shapes. But first of all, I would like that you introduce yourself and talk to all of us a little bit more about where do you live, where do you work, and about your artistic research.
Yeah, so I live in London, and I'm an abstract spontaneous painter.
Wow.
I am also a poet, and many of my works, they, well, are in dialogue, like these two. So this one is called Eruption of Passion, and this one is called Ebb and Flow, and they are in dialogue. And
you mean that they are in dialogue between them, or each of them is in dialogue with the poem?
All of it.
Ah, okay, so
yeah.
all connected.
Yes, it's all connected. And, well, Eruption of Passion is about, you know, passion. It's red, it's fiery, it's a little bit chaotic. Whereas Ebb and Flow is blue, it's calm, it has like more of a meditative appearance. And they are in dialogue because I think we all have both sides within us as well.
Yes.
And they come out at different times, sometimes within ourselves, but also sometimes, you know, when you are in dialogue actually with a person.
Yes.
Where you are the calm part and I might be the passionate part.
Yes.
And for me it's important, you know, to look at the, well, many of my works are about the human condition.
Yes.
And the, you know, the human complexity and, well, everything
that comes from inside to outside.
Yes.
The communication.
Yes, exactly. And also, you know, the basically, you know, that both is true, the opposites are true, and they are all parts of us. Right? We are all both. I'm not only passionate, I'm also not only calm, and neither are you, and that's just, you know, the whole picture.
I love the idea that you talked about these super complex and strong things in a simple way, with a geometric way. So congratulations, because arriving to the minimalism, no, or some actions, it's not, in my opinion, it's not a starting point, but it's a super goal that few people reach, because usually when you want to talk about many emotions like this, you use a lot of elements, but to do the same with few ones, it's really complex. So I love it. I have one question for you.
Yeah?
Why did you divide the two emotions if they are all inside of you? Because I know that all of them are inside of you, inside of me. You know, we have together. Why you decided to create two canvases, to talk one about this and one about this?
So I don't really decide when I go to the studio. So that's number one. So when I painted this one, well, you know, I look at the colors, and then I'm just like, in this case, I saw red, and then I just kind of start, and I finished this one, and it was done. And I'm also not, some pieces, they are standalone pieces, and there is no counterpart.
Okay.
So this one was done, and then like, I don't know, a few days, maybe a week later.
You think about the other emotion.
Yeah, I was like, I need to do something else.
Yes.
And then I did this one, and it was the color blue, and this one kind of evolved. But it wasn't a plan. It never really is a plan.
I understand.
You know, it's kind of a natural, authentic, spontaneous process.
Sí. Interesting.
Yeah.
And what about your artistic production in general? You usually work with this media and working in this conceptual way, or you work also with other media, working with other kind of works?
Yeah, so I use mainly acrylic, but I also use spray paint, and I use collage in some of my works as well. So it really depends.
Okay.
You know,
depending on what you have to express.
Yeah, exactly. You know, so it's not like it's the same way
I decide before.
I don't decide
it's
before.
It's a media.
Yeah, it's, you know, it's whatever comes up, and then sometimes it works, sometimes I look at it after and I'm like, I really don't like this, and then I just put the canvas somewhere, and then months later I'd go, I look at it again, and then I suddenly know what was missing, what I wanted to do, and then it makes all sense. But sometimes you also need to, you know, to pause, to process.
Okay, it's clear. And
but I'm also a poet.
I know that you have a really great surprise for our conversation, because you would like to, and also we would like to have a poem connected to this painting. If you want.
Okay, yeah, I can't do it by heart.
The poem that you will start to read now is connected to one of them or to both?
It's connected to both of them. I'm going to read it to you. And then I'm going to explain how I think it is connected.
Please.
Right. So it's called The Owl and the Hall of Clocks. Once an owl came to the Hall of Clocks, a place where birds went to learn how to fly properly. Each clock ticked a little differently, but none ever struck the hour. The owl had flown through wind and winter, carrying a bundle of feathers she had shed and gathered again. Not perfect, but hers. At the gate, the peacocks greeted her. "Show us your wings," they said, "but fold them just so, not too wide and not too wild." She tried, she tugged and turned, spoke softly, offered her feathers with care, but they shook their heads. "We sense a stiffness," they said, "not enough softness in your sky. We haven't seen you tremble." The owl blinked. She had trembled, just not in ways they could name, not in ways that fit their ledger. So she turned, not in anger, not in defeat, but in quiet knowing. Outside, the air smelled of moss and possibility. She flew low at first, then higher, not toward a clock, but toward something warm and wind-shaped, something that had no gate. And behind her, the hall of clocks kept ticking, not knowing what time it was.
Wow.
So, what I want to say in this poem is, you know, that in the hall of clocks, maybe they saw the chaos when they wanted to see the calm, but they didn't. And it's about, you know, the duality and the complexity of us, it's about perception.
A perception also of the time that is personal, and also about the empty moments that can become long or super short, super small, depending on how we feel also the time or the space.
Exactly, you know, so it's all about
our perception.
Our perception, my perception, your perception. You look at something and you think this is beautiful. I might look at it and think this is ugly.
That is the same feeling that I suggest to everybody when they are in front of a work. We can give them some suggestions. It's really important, like today we are doing, to listen the point of view of the artist that did the works. But at the same time, it's magical when everybody is in front of a work, because they will start a dialogue and they will start to receive and feel personal emotions.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's not about what you like, I might do not like. And for me, art needs to do something, you know, with, well, the audience, the viewer. And it doesn't, you know, it needs to be some form of emotion, a good one, a bad one, but you need to kind of want to look at it and look a little bit longer. And then for me, you know, it has its purpose because it kind of caught your attention.
It's also interesting that you try to enter inside the visitor point of view, not only in a visual way, but also with another media, with poems, because it arrives in another, in my opinion, I was feeling now, I was receiving while you were reading, the same concept, but in another...
From a different angle, right? From a different
yes,
perspective, and it touches you.
And I was feeling the same feelings of watching the works, but in another way. It's really interesting.
Yeah, I'm glad you get it. You know, and
it's unique
like
because it's using several medias to reach the same goal.
Another thing which I didn't mention yet, and which is also really like at the core of my practice, I have a movement, and it's called the Connecting Conditional Art Movement.
Okay.
And it relates to, you know, well, the world we live in right now is like more disconnect than connection. You know, social media, for example, was supposed to connect us more.
And where we can find more about this movement?
It's all on my website.
Okay.
Basically, and it's about, say, I encourage like the collectors of my artwork, say you buy this piece, I buy this piece. I encourage you as the collector to start a dialogue with the person you do not know who bought that piece. Because I think like music, you know, if we are touched on an unconscious and kind of soul level, we already have like something in common, and there is like a, well, subconscious connection. And I think it's very interesting to explore.
Absolutely.
And I also really think it's, you know, the world needs like more true connection. And, well, I just want to play my part in it. And, well, that's the reason why I founded the movement. And I, you know, want to get more artists on it. Involved. And I think it's like, you know, a really, well, great concept and a good idea. And it will elevate also, well, the artwork to another level again. Yes. You know. Yeah. So. Thank you very much for this amazing conversation. Thank you. And congratulations again for your research and for all the work you are doing. Thank you very much. Welcome. Thank you, Luca. Thank you for having me.